Hello, everybody. So I think we are ready to do some putting together of this journal, and I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna tell any fibs. I'm gonna at this box. This is probably a little wider here than I wanted it to be. But then I was looking at the videos again, and I seen that a lot of the people have. So if, let's just say this is their journal, and they have the binding, and a lot of them have their journals like that, and I don't like that. I want it to be just kind of even. I don't want it sticking way up out of the binding, right? Out of the spine. And I want the book going, it can be the same size, it can be a little bit over, but I don't really want it going way over the spine. And some of these people have these journals that the book ends up like, way out here, and here's the spine there, and they're way, let me see, so way out here, and it's like this triangle. I'm like, no, I don't like that. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to say, okay, with the wider spine than what I thought I originally wanted, because I thought I would keep it kind of small since it's my first, really. I mean, I made journals before. I have. I just haven't done like this junk journal kind of thing, art journal thing. I've done journals that are just like paper, or like, but not like this. So I'm tearing the box apart, basically. And I'm going to take, and I should just get my trimmer, but I'm going to cut these off. I know I'm going to need it smaller even still, but I just want to get these off real quick, and then we can figure out how much smaller to go, because we do still want it book bigger than the pages, right? We want the pages tucked into the cover. That's what I'm trying to say, the cover. And the other day when I was talking spine was the word. I'm going, the binding thing here on the side. Spine is what I meant. So yeah. When I remembered that it was spine, I was like, oh my gosh. It's spine. Spine is the word that I was looking for, and so try to remember that, Lori. The word is spine. So we're just going to trim it down, and then I'll trim it down again, and we'll just keep trimming it down. And where I took it apart at, now I'm a little bit concerned. Not too much, because we're going to be adding to this. But why does that look like that could come up? I think it's just a crease. Yeah, it's just a crease. So on this side, the box was kind of glued together. Not there, but see here. That's where it was kind of glued together. So that was where I took it apart. That's where you want to take it apart, so that this part is actually one piece. And then, of course, the top and bottom come off, because you're not going to be keeping the top and bottom. And so here is our basic cover. And now all we got to do is get our cover the size we want, right? And cover it. We're going to cover the cover size-wise. So I just want to take a piece of paper, fold it in half, and be able to get it in here. And honestly, the top and bottom, I'm not really going to be taking any out. I don't think. I think that's going to be kind of staying, and maybe even just lose a little bit here. So I will get my trimmer and I'll cut it straighter. But basically, you know, it's pretty much there. Let me see. So this is going to be even maybe a little bit smaller. These are all going to have to be folded in half and for the signatures, but they don't have to be perfect. So, see, top and bottom, that's about where it needs to be. So, you might take some off the sides, but really that might even be okay because this seems a little bit shorter than that. No, not really. So what I'm going to do is grab a trimmer, and I want to get, let me think here, because I want a trimmer. I don't want to mess up the blade. So I was thinking I was using that one, but now that I think about it, that is not the one I want to use. So, I got it. So this is the one I want to use, and I'm going to open it up, and I just want to even everything out. And so the paper is, let's see how much we want to cut off. The paper is folded in half. It is 5.5 inches. Do we want to go a whole inch to 6.5? If that's what we want to do, it's right about there. So we might want to go maybe 6.25. I'm going to say 6.25. So I'm going to line this up. I'm lining up this line, this fold, this corner of this box at 6.25 and bring it up, and I'm going to trim it. Okay, and back and forth to make sure that's cut. All right, that's good. Got it. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm coming to 6.25. I'm going to bring that up, 6.25, and I'm going to trim that. And let's see. Did I move that? 6.25. I did somehow. Let's see. 6.25. It goes right there. Not straight. Let's get it straight. 6.25. All right. Let's see. 6.25. Is that lined up? Yep. 6.25. I'm just checking to see if it's straight. 6.25. And here we go. 6.25. And that looks straight. So there we go. Now with this part, this is where it's going to get a little bit harder. All I want to do with this part is even it out, trim it down a little bit. Because I don't really want to be messing up. Right. So is that straight? Looks like it to me. And this one, I also just want to trim. Just want to trim it out a little bit. Just the tiniest touch. Trim it and even it, right? Trim it. It didn't work so great. Let me try this. Trim and even. Trim and even, that's all I want to do. Trim it out and even it out. Okay, that's gonna be probably the best I'm gonna get it with this, because it would be different if I had a big cutter, and I do, but you do have to sometimes just be careful. Okay, that should do it. That little bit, I think, was all that was left. Let's look and see what we think. Looks pretty good to me. I got a little bit here. So overall lengthwise, this is 15 inches. Does anybody have any paper that is longer than 15 inches? I don't know if I'm looking to see if it's straight, because it doesn't look like it's lining up straight. It's not squaring out, I guess is what I'm trying to say. This coming down here is too low, right? It's doing okay here, but it goes way too low in the middle there. So I'm gonna try let's try, I don't know. I didn't want to lose a bunch of it, but let's see. Let's see what happens if that's better, straighter. I'm gonna end up, I just don't want to cut too much away. And then, see, it did it again. 999. Stay on that 9 mark. 9. Okay. That's pretty good. The paper, still fitting. Pretty good. It's lined up pretty close. I don't think I can get any closer than that. And on this side, yeah, might, it's the same. So, we're good. We're good. But, do we have paper that's 15 inches long? I don't know if this paper here is how exactly long it is. Let me see. Let me grab a sheet and let's measure it. But either way, I'm not going to use it because it's not something that most of us normally would have. And so this is definitely, this is 16 and a half. So this would work. Right, man, it would be almost about perfect, actually. You know, when you scored it, and you'd have to score, you know, you got to put score marks in it. But I'm not going to use this because most people here, especially in the U.S., is not going to have paper that big. So I'm going to grab my box of my special papers. with the 12 by 12 sheets. And, oh, these pieces that you cut off, keep those. Especially this piece here is going to be very important. So don't throw that away. Not that piece. If you have to throw the rest away, go ahead, but don't throw that piece away. Save. That piece is going to be our spine. This is our outer spine, but we need an inner spine. Okay, so we need to pick some papers that we want. You know, I'm gonna do these. That's what I'm gonna do. Right there on the top, nice and easy. I may change them a lot. I may not. So if you know that you want to do something to the front pages, you could do them now. And then it's done and you don't have to worry about it. Right. So, for me, I don't know what I want to do. And I do need to pop my pages together, and I have to figure out where I want to do that at. Where on my paper do I want to join my flowers and stuff? Do I want to do it there? I don't know about that. Do I want to come here? Do one upside down? Okay, here's what I'm going to do first. Before I do this, let me do this. This is not quite 9 inches high, right? It's 8 and, well, it's right about 9 inches high. Honestly, I'm going to cut it down an inch. Just an inch. I'm just taking an inch off. And depending on what size you choose to do, will be how much you'll take off. You got to leave extra. You got to leave extra for the overlap. You know, to fold it down and overlap it. I may need to come through if it's too much and take more off. I'm hoping that I don't though. But I do still have to figure out where I want to join these. Maybe here. That's not a good idea. See, they're this way. I have to just figure out where I want them joined. You have quite a bit of space, you know, because you're gonna only need, you know, like 1.5 inches or so, but you gotta have room for to score and make your folds in it. So there is actually quite a bit of, but it's really just figuring out what are your favorite parts. I don't like this edge showing so much. I think I've come to that realization. So I think I'm going to do it right about here. Let me think, because how big do I need this? How big do I really need this to be? 15, 17, maybe 18. Maybe 18. So what I'm going to do is cut these down to 10. 1, 2, 10. It's got to overlap. So that would put it 19 if I overlap an inch, if I overlap 2 inches. I don't know. Let me just take an inch off, an inch and a half. Let me choose an inch and a half right between the 1 and the 2 inch mark. And that hopefully works out. What I want is, I don't want too much over, because you're going to have to cut it off. But you do need enough that your spine's overlapped some. You don't need the whole spine overlapped. But if you do, then it just makes that spine that much stronger, right? So if I come through and I put this on here like this, and then I come with this one and overlap it the amount of the whole spine, then that makes that spine that much stronger. Does that make sense? Because you have extra paper there, so your spine's a little bit stronger, and the spine is where you turn it and stuff. The thing is that you're going to score it on the score mark, and this is not going to be the extra, and that, I don't know. I don't know. But I think I'm going to just join it, honestly, because I can't decide where to join it. I think I'm going to, see, that's going to be a little bit too much, but I'm going to go ahead and go with it. I'm just joining it right like this much. So from the 7 to, from this 7 to this 7, so 10 to 7, 7 to 10, that's where I'm joining it. So then where's my glue? Here's my glue. Take that top glue layer off of there so it's not blocking the glue from coming out. And this 7 line and this 10 line are the same lines. So I'm just gonna come over. And I want this glued together well. Nice and strong. I don't want it coming loose at any point. What I do need to make sure is I got them both going the same way. Okay, I do. That's all I need to worry about is, are they both going the same way? So the 10 and the 7, the 7 and the 10. Okay, now they are lined up straight. Try to get them to see. One is not as big as the other. So when I trimmed it different. Look at it this way, see how it goes. And just, you can see this one is just a little bit bigger because I cut it just a little bit bigger when I trimmed some off. I didn't trim quite as much off of this one. Is it gonna matter? I doubt it. Chances are I'm gonna put a separate piece of paper like over this part of the spine, but nice, right? So what I'm going to do now, so it's glued, it's glued. I want to put, I just want to do this right. I don't want my cover to become a mess, and I want to do it right. And I might be overdoing it, but I'd rather overdo it than not do it right, right? So if people say, oh, you didn't need to do that, maybe I didn't, but I'm doing it. Because I want to be sure that I've done it right. So I'm going to take here, and I'm going to figure out where the center point of this is. I'm going to go ahead and fold it and find my center point. Now probably you don't want to fold it. Boy, that doesn't even look like this paper is cut straight. But okay, see, it doesn't want to give me that. Okay, now what I'm going to do, doesn't have to be perfect. I got extra paper. Okay, so I can see here. Ooh, I don't want mine on that line. So I'm going to move it over from that center line that I made myself. And what I'm going to do is just come with a marker or something. And I'm going to mark it. What I'm marking is where I'm going to score. Where I'm going to score. Where I'm going to score for the spine. Because you want your paper to move where your spine is. So you got to score that in the best way. For me right now, where is my scoring tool? I don't see my scoring tool. That's not good. No. Where did my scoring tool go? See, with everything, I gotta get stuff put back. Really, really bad. I gotta get stuff put back. Because this is not, definitely not ideal for me. So this ain't gonna work. For scoring, it's not. It's probably lined up really well. Of course it is. If I had my scoring tool, this would not have been lined up so good. It scored all the way through. It scored it good. Looks like anyways. Let's see. Scored it good. It scored it well. And so, where's my bomb folder? It's not even in here. Here we go. We can use this. All right. There's one. Let's do the other one. Okay. I don't know. That definitely did not stay in the line. And that's horrible. Horrible, 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 horrible. Why would I get one that turns out so nice and one that turns out so horrible? Oh, see? That didn't even stay on the line at all. Come on. I would have been better. Maybe I should have been more patient and gotten the tools that I need together first better. Together better first. Together better first. Because this line, oof, it's kind of a mess. But like I said, I'm gonna be doing, this was that middle line, and look at the crease that it caused. Well, and here I said, oh, I want to do it right. Right. So this is gonna fit in here, in between those two lines, so that we already have a fold working here. Right? It's already working that way. And a fold. And this one isn't working that way. This one needed more room. And what I maybe could have done, because when this one gets moved, I don't want it moving this one, right? But actually, that feels pretty good in there right now. And then this one would go there. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead, see all the extra? So this is why I wasn't too worried about it being perfect straight, because I got plenty of extra to fold in. So no, I'm not too worried. As long as I get this spine thing right, then I think the rest will work out. I hope the rest will work out. So all I'm gonna do at this point is get my spine and glue it up. And the spine, you wanna glue it up nice. So I'm gonna get the glue, but not all the way to the ends. And ooh. So it needs to just go, and I want to line it up with the score lines because it could very easily go crooked at this point, and I don't want that to happen. Now, if your paper is going to be see-through, and you need to make allowances for that, and you might have to tuck in some extra paper or something. I don't think mine's going to be see-through. I don't think that's anything I'm going to have to worry about. So I'm going to fold this here. Okay. Bring that over. And bring this over. And fold this here. I think I'm leaving this loose in case it needs that give. I'm going to let it have that give. See? See how that went over that way, but it's fitting down here still. I'm going to bring the paper kind of this way to do more burnishing on it. See? It's going to start holding here in a second where it's not going to want to let go, and that's going to be good. Okay, so flip and flip. I don't know yet which side's going to be my front, which side's going to be my back. Most of these spines here, they have meet up in the middle, the papers. Mine's on this side, but like I said, I'm probably going to put another piece of paper from here to like about here. So about an inch in, maybe not even that much, maybe ½ inch. So I'm not too worried about it. But what that tells me is this is probably going to be my back. This will be my front. Oh, nope. If this is my front, then this is upside down. So I messed up, didn't I? I wasn't paying attention like I should have. This has got to be my front. Otherwise, my paper's upside down. Well, yeah. Yep. Okay. So here we are. So this is my front. So this is the one I want to put down first, and this is the one that's going to have to struggle to fit. That's not a nice way to put it, is it? Okay, so I'm going to come and... Oh, take this glue is maybe getting a little low. Okay. And then after we make the cover, then I'll go into making the signatures. But right now at this point, I want to get the cover made so that everybody can see why I'm making my signatures the way I'm going to make my signatures. And why I'm doing. It just makes more sense to show this part first. Anyways, to me, the way my brain thinking, to me, that it makes more sense. Basically, what I'm going to do is these are going to fold over and they're all going to be glued down. And then the spine is going to be this piece right here. It's going to get glued in here after the signatures are sewn in to here. So I'm going to sew the signatures in here, and then this will glue down in here. Once this is glued down in here, then I'll come in and cover the inside part. Does that make sense? That's how it's going to work. That's what I'm planning on doing. Now, when I talk about sewing it, not planning on sewing it on a machine. It's a basic, simple, easy, nothing to it sewing. So maybe some point I'll do a sewing machine. But for this one, I don't want it because it's too much new stuff and I don't really know what I'm doing. And so I just gonna keep it simple. The KISS technique, if you've never heard of it. The KISS technique is keep it simple, sugar. This really is a spatula, not a burnishing tool. So it's really not giving me everything I want it to do. But I probably should glue that part down right there. Now, see what happens when I turn it. But when I flatten it, it comes up a little bit. Okay, now for this side, we're going to do the same thing. Now this is where it can get tight. And this is why I went ahead and did these. Once I have this down, I'm going to want to train the paper even more. You really want to loosen that paper up. So basically, I was loosening it up before, and I probably should have mentioned that that was an important thing to do. Loosen it up before you get to this point. If you have it on nice and crisp and it's not loosened up, it's not going to want to fold nice and it's going to rip. So you generally also don't want glue in here, you know, in the crease, because now let's see, is it going to be too tight? No, it's pretty good. If it's tight, then it gives you resistance when you go to fold. It'll give you resistance, and you might get some tears in here. I haven't got any tears in here. That was another reason for using the lighter papers. Sometimes the lighter papers are better for that they don't tear. See, now I can make my burnishing crisper, and not really, it won't be really crisper, but it seems like it. But if you do this, then it actually makes it, you know what I mean, more of a lump. But that's not bad. And I'm not gonna, what happened there? I might have burnished it too soon. It could just be that I have this. Thing is, it looks good when it's folded, but when I open it up, see, this is the kind of stuff I wanted to avoid. So maybe when I fold it over, that will get tucked away. Hopefully. Hopefully that's what will happen. That'll get tucked away. I'm hoping. This is really not good that I didn't have my scoring tool. And I really should have, because I really kind of need it now. Okay. So here's the other thing that I'm going to do. I'm going to take you're going to take your scoring tool. I'm taking the thing I'm using right now. And just go along the edges and just give yourself a little give in the paper, right? You just want the paper to give when you go to fold it. You don't want it crisp and tight and no give, and then it's going to crack on you. We may still get cracking, but we're going to hope. We want to keep that down to a minimum. Okay, and I got to do it here and here. And you don't want it ripping it. You don't want it cutting it. You just want to get that score in it. So all you want to do is get that score in it, just along the edge of the book. See? Just along the edge of it. Like I said, the lighter paper, there's a reason I went for it. And I don't know if I did this. I know I did one of these edges, but I don't know. No, that one I did do. Okay, now I'm going to just kind of slowly work it a little bit. Just slowly work it. Don't rush it. And you can tell when it's ready. It kind of has more give. Let me do this way so you can see what I'm just giving it a little bit of a nudge in the direction that I want it to go. Okay. Now as I get closer, now I can fold it. And it's going to fold nice, and it's going to fold tight right up to the edge. And hopefully, fingers crossed, no cracking. Right, I'm going to do this. I would definitely start in the middle, I guess. Because that's going to be your hardest point. And everything else, it needs to adjust around your spine. Even though your spine is going to be probably the best hidden part of it, it's the one you want to work the best. And then that would go this way. Right, and our spine is getting thicker and thicker and thicker. Okay, so that would go that way, and then this would go this way. And then I will have to come in and re-glue this. And like I said, I would need to put another piece around it. That's my plan at this point. Okay. So, where our corners are, we're just going to do not all the way to, now this has been a long time since I've done this on anything. Not all the way to, but we're going to just do a little loop-de-loop here. Let's see how well that looks. See? Basically, we're mitering our corners. And you just want to leave, don't cut all the way to the end. If you cut all the way to the end, you're going to end up with a blank spot, and you don't want a blank spot. See? So mine are a little curved. I'm a little out of practice, but I think that it's going to be just fine anyways, I think. If it looks a little curved, I'm okay with that. But don't cut all the way to the tip, because like I said, if you did, you're going to end up with a piece that's empty. So can I show you? I'm gonna cut this one all the way to the tip, and then you can see. So we're gonna go, and I'm cutting all the way up to that tip. Watch it not be enough still, because sometimes even when you cut to the tip, you're okay. So see that little bit? It's just the littlest, tiniest bit that isn't covered. But you can do something about that. And what you can do about that is, I don't want these extra bulk, but I can take this and glue this down, and then that will go on there, and it'll cover that up, right? Now if I'm going to do it, I probably should do it in every corner so that they all feel the same. Yeah, I think so. So let me just take these, cut them along the score lines. I don't think they have to be exactly perfect, but we can keep them just. Like I said, if we're going to have them in a corner, we might as well have them in all the corners, that way they all. You ever get a book and there's like an extra piece in the corner and you're like, what is that? Why is that there? I don't know. I don't know why it's there. That's what I'm asking. Does anybody know? Is it because they mitered the corner wrong? I don't think so. But we want it to have the same feel, right? We don't want somebody sometime down the line going, there's extra bump here, but there's not here, and there's not here. Where if we put them in all of them, somebody might say, oh, they like reinforce the corners even, you know? Okay, glue, come on. Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to stick these in the corners and get that right. I remember this because one of the videos I was watching, the lady only did the, she was showing, oh, if you cut it too short, you just stick the paper in the corner, and she stuck the paper in the corner, and, oh, they need to be going the same way. She stuck the paper in the corner, and I thought, wait a minute. You got to do all the corners if you're doing that. And so I thought that I should show you that if you're going to do the corners, and sometimes you have to, you do the corners because you cut it too short or whatever. But if you're going to do them, all of them, so that you might not be able to tell because the paper's so thin. But I'm not taking that chance. You know, I'm not taking that chance. So, I'm trying to figure which piece I want to go down first, and I think I'm gonna do these into pieces. I don't know, maybe those should go down first. And then I kind of holding it all together. Let me see. What does this look like? Are we doing it? We're doing it. Yeah, we're getting it. So it's getting there. Okay. So I'm gonna glue the paper, not the cardboard. Why, I don't know. That's what I feel safer doing anyway, so that's why I am doing it. It just feels like that's the way it should be done. So if the other way makes sense to you, do it the other way, right? Helicopter going around for some reason. This is a 55 plus community. I don't know if any of you live in anything like this, but sometimes it's a little odd, not to have families and kids and stuff running around here. And then just now, because I look out the window when I do my videos and I see these kids walking and I'm like, wow, there's kids. What are they doing? And they must be visiting. And they weren't doing anything. They're just walking down the road. Okay. So I think these are down pretty good. This glue is sticking really good with this paper and this cardboard from the box. And everything seems to be sticking and holding well at this point. I do want to make sure this is good, but I'm going to fold everything up and check it out. And it's good, I think. I think it's good. It seems to be good to me. And I'm going to check my spine. The thing in the middle that has the binding is the spine. Okay, and then that's gonna flip over now. So the next step in the cover is the binding. Now some people are gonna want to cover this first. And if that's what you want to do, that's all right. If you're confident enough for that. I am not that confident, and I want to get the binding in first. And so what's going to be important for me, and see why I said it doesn't matter, because it's going to fold in. And so if this was way short and this was way long, if I had this coming in 5 inches and this 2 inches and all of that, it's going to be covered anyways. So nobody's going to see it. The only thing is you're going to be able to feel it, right? Because you'll feel the paper. So you do want to try to keep it as even as possible. But like, my opinion is keep it as even as possible, but don't stress over it, because it is going to be covered. If that makes sense to you all, then, that's what I think. Anyways, to me, that's what makes sense. Now look at this wanting to bow. This board wanting to bow. I guess with all the glue and the paper and everything, it wants to bow right here. I don't want it to bow. I don't want it to do that. So I'm gonna mess with it a little bit. And see it bowing here too. So I'm gonna kind of mess with it a little bit. It didn't do that until I put these ends down. So that could be something with the glue. Okay, now here's our cover. Here's our cover. Do we like it? I do. I do. I'm going to put glue down in here now. And like I said, it's going to be cut. I'm going to put another piece. You don't have to put another piece. If yours turns out good and you don't have that, you know, you have maybe the line down the middle or whatever, and you don't have it, then you don't have to put the extra cover on. It is definitely not necessary. It's optional. Okay, so I'm gonna just, because I don't want that popping up underneath the piece that I'm gonna put on. And now I gotta decide what I'm gonna put on. Am I gonna put a solid? Am I gonna put a pattern that coordinates? What am I gonna put on here? See, this is, I kind of like the way that looks like a fold right there. You know, if this glues down nice, I might not put another piece on there because I'm kind of liking the folding of it. It's kind of adding to that rusticy look, you know. Rub some of this tacky glue off. Let me close this. As I try to decide what I'm gonna do, wow, this video is getting a little long. Okay. We do have a cover here. And you know, you want to train it. See how now that's popping up in other places that wasn't popping up. See, that's why I might not have the option. I might have to cover it. But if I can get enough glue down in there to hold it, open that glue back up. If I can get the glue in there to hold it, I might leave it because I'm kind of liking it the way it is. Anybody know what they're doing for dinner? We're doing spaghetti. I like spaghetti. It's we've been doing a lot of soups, and I think spaghetti will be nice. We do soups or we do meat and salad. It seems like so spaghetti ought to be good. Yeah, that's closed now. I got glue all over my fingers real bad. This video is over an hour long, and that's a long time. So this is gonna have to be the front. And I'm gonna just kind of play a little bit to get this the way I want it to feel so it's not doing that weird bowing and stuff. And then this becomes another part of the spine, and then everything gets covered. This gets glued in here, and then see, and then obviously it's got to be trimmed down, but yep. And then we have our book. And we're repurposing a box. So one less thing to go into the landfill, right? All right, so I'm gonna stop here and then we will get papers together, and I think we'll do this together, of course, because I wouldn't do anything without y'all watching, but so I cut that off and it didn't cut off straight. Isn't that weird? There we go. And then this is gonna have to be cut here. Okay, so I have more doctor's appointments tomorrow. Hopefully not a whole full day of them. Hopefully it will just be morning. Mid-morning, so, or late morning. So tomorrow we should be able to do it. To do our signatures, hopefully. If not, it'll be the day after tomorrow. But hopefully the appointments are done early enough that I think that's gonna be just about right. I can't believe I got that cut down that good. Yeah, look at that. Okay. So this will get covered. I still probably get to trim that down a little bit. And these will get covered. This will get covered, and then the signatures will go on here. All right. That is for today. We are stopping right there. All right, everybody, if you like my video, please hit the like and subscribe button. One of my friends is going to be sharing about how they do the, I think the tea, but she had the tea, but she did the tea, but she didn't have no tea right now, so she's going to share her method of, she's going to share her method doing the coffee, which I believe works about the same as the tea. So, as soon as I'm able to figure out how I'm going to get that up, I'm going to get that up. I am bound and determined to get that up. So, all right, everybody. If you like my video, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you join me again. Bye-bye now.